down. You move your head forward, the pebble moves on another set of hairs, and you have a different indication of the plumb bob direction.
Lone Wolf, Alpha Squad, copy over by James Rink, continuing chapter 20. This pebble is from Montauk, The End, from 2020. It's just a pebble. Chapter 20, Operational Records. Continued on page 252. Monarch Orphanage. Many years ago, when I first started receiving needle marks and cut marks, I had a session with a psychic to help me understand what was causing these issues. She informed me there was a 14-year-old named David on the other side looking out for me. When he was 14, he committed suicide because his father molested him, and he was also molesting his younger brother. The channeler told me he was sorry for molesting me as a boy when I was about 8 or 9 years old. He said that I was being abused and felt bad for me and just wanted to be my friend. However, I have no memories of David or being molested as a child. David, on the other side, wanted me to know that I needed to recover my suppressed memories, otherwise my health problems would only continue to deteriorate. Namely, I am suffering from autoimmune problems, chronic fatigue, and OCD depression in particular. So, with the help of regression and a seer, I learned that David and I knew each other at a Monarch Trauma Conditioning Center. It was a 3-story orphanage in Nashville, Tennessee, roughly 100 feet long and 30 feet wide. Some of it was still in operation and exists as a mental hospital for severely behaviorally and emotionally disturbed children. I spent 7 years in this facility, after which my memories were wiped. My body was re-aged and then reinserted back into my family moments after I was taken. About 10 children were being trained here at any given time. Each child had their own bedroom, which was kept mostly locked in isolation. The handlers at this facility spoke in German. If the child was bad, they were taken to disciplinary quarters where they would be strapped down with these dirty canvas type straps that were used instead of cuffs so as not to cause bruising. They performed all kinds of sadistic ritualism, waterboarding, electroshock if you tried to laugh, and pain-pleasure reversals. This was done to shut down our higher chakras. A group of us kids would sit on our knees in front of old vacuum tube style TV sets, watching TV shows that reinforced our conditioning, such as Father Knows Best and I Love Lucy. If the group of children became rebellious, rebellious, just when you really get into it, you look like a dick. Why? Watching TV shows that reinforced our conditioning, such as Father Knows Best and I Love Lucy. If the group of children became rebellious, if the group of children became rebellious or tried to fight back, one of them would be sacrificed. They would keep pigs nearby to feed the dead children in order to keep us in a state of fear should we not comply. They would keep pigs nearby to feed the dead children in order to keep us in a state of fear should we not comply. David killed himself at the facility when he was 8, not 14, because he could not tolerate the traumas. Many of us had to choose to either to disassociate in order to survive or die from the trauma. The handlers at this facility had access to very advanced technologies such as time dilation tech and regeneration tanks to bring people back from the dead. But for some reason, there was not a regen tank in this facility, as they wanted the weak children to die. They were targeting children with starseed or ET genetics to enhance their abilities. The angelics, on the other side, have informed me it will be at least another 10 years before I am ready to begin healing from this trauma. David was keeping me in a child alter mischievous state so that I could survive the trauma I was subjected to. But the trauma is over now. It is time to heal and move on. At the end of the regression, I thanked David on the other side for help and gave him permission to move on. Archangel Michael comes and holds his hands, and David skips into a portal of light in the sky, and boom, he was gone. Dolphin Super Soldier Program, Project Crystal Gates. For a period of 18 months around 1973, I was briefly involved with the Dolphin Super Soldier Program known as Project Crystal Gates at a facility maybe called Ridgeport. In this particular program, they created a cloned crossbreed dolphin using some of my DNA combined with dolphin DNA just to see what would happen. They were in particular interested in merging a dolphin's natural ability of sonar and echolocation into a human-like body, Dolphins have an exceptional ability to heal with physical touch, and the collective pod can also open portals in the ocean. Whales can also open portals by themselves, which is something the dark forces covet. Special thanks to Veronica and Kimberly, who were also participants in this program in helping me recover what happened during this time. I hope this one was touched by a dolphin and a shark and a whale. The dolphin crossbreed bodies contained a twin braided soul consisting of both dolphin and human souls. The dolphin participants were originally captured as babies in nets. The name of the dolphin that merged with me is Osiris. He wants people to visualize himself with a rainbow mohawk. He likes human hair because it looks so different. He thinks hair makes him look unique and makes him stand out. The dolphin wants a rainbow mohawk. So do I. The training facility was in a dome on the bottom of the ocean. Inside the dome is an indoor swimming pool. We entered this program as human children and would swim with the cetaceans in the pool. There are children lined up waiting to jump in the water. Veronica and myself are already in the water. We look about 14 years old. We exit the water with towels and then escorted into dolphin-looking bodies. The clone dolphin body is on the table asleep. Then there are other boys and girls in there. There is a tube full of blood going from the children into the clone dolphin and vice versa. The dolphin's consciousness begins to merge with the kid. They are assimilating both souls as one unit together. They're assimilating both souls as one unit together. After occupying a dolphin body, I am then put into the ocean. There is some kind of antenna on our head. There are 6 of us in our pod, and we are all humans placed into dolphin bodies. We descend into the ocean and swim inside this underground, shiny, smooth, but bumpy, metal-looking dome. Once we are inside, we are back into our human bodies again. I'm not sure if we are shape-shifting or our souls are switching back and forth between cloned bodies. Once inside, we come up the stairs and to talk to some people. Around us, we see telepathic human-dolphin hybrids and tanks. They are treated well and fed well. They have been here for many years. They are trying to find cures for the regrowth program, and they are looking for sea gates, portals. The regrowth program sought ways to regrow legs, body parts, and finding cures for humans through the participants' DNA. There are humans in uniforms nearby. We search around to find a man who is open to helping us and talking to us telepathically. He says he's a sergeant and his role is to gather the right people that can communicate and guide participants through the Stargate in order to find other forms of existence in the water to communicate with them about the regrowth program. The children are happy and can see certain things others cannot, such as mathematics, numbers, and feelings, and can do so without doubting themselves. They can see the future. They play and they are happy. We are told, "This is a good program. You are here to help. Please do not be afraid." They put us to sleep and then our consciousness is transferred into the dolphin body. That's why I don't remember much. The memories happened in another body. The dolphin people share a message. You will recover your memories, but you must first practice in your dreams and meditation. But Project Crystal But Project Crystal Gates was not working out as originally hoped for by the dolphins. The dolphins were getting telepathic messages from light forces that the children were being tortured and not treated with kindness and respect, which upset the dolphins, so they stopped cooperating. After only 18 months, the program was shut down. The dolphins were released into the sea, and the children's bodies were placed in a freezer where they remain frozen to this very day. One of the dolphins in my pod was named Mia, and she came through to share this channeled message. We remember the kids and is sad what the humans did to them. Keep loving yourselves. There are solutions to everything. Keep talking to us when you are afraid. We always smile and we are happy. Keep loving, have fun, and explore. Enjoy the rain and thunder. Some humans are really nice and some humans are mean and disgusting because we are too happy. They retired us early because we are becoming too sad. We were becoming too sad. We would not participate anymore. I see your memories located in a circle, green submarine. You're going to be free soon. You're going to be happy, going to be married. Don't worry about money. Your memories you don't need money for. Your cubes going to sell more and you're going to write another book. They are now experimenting with us underneath Sandia National Labs. The ocean goes deep under there. It's very deep, numerous kilometers. It's very pretty here. There is this blue plant that we eat. There's so much food here. You could feed the whole planet, but you gotta dig deep. I know you humans want to be all by yourself. Stop fighting over stupid shit. All have a connection. There is a common ground, peace, and who we are and work together for those who are coming. There are new human babies that are being born who are telepathically talking to us all. You guys are awesome. The projects have to come to pass. We can go off-world. There are other oceans and worlds and natural portals that we can go to. But we won't tell them, the Cabal, where they are. We know where the portals are. They can't take this information from us. They cannot take it. It's in our spirit. They think we are dumb, but we have secret frequencies. You humans dream this as numbers and sounds. It's about frequency and vibration, which is your higher self. We're going to cause an earthquake and take the Cabal, them, out. We're going to take them out. There will be a shift in the Atlantic, New Mexico, and Canada. Something's going to happen to South Africa. I'm sorry there are going to be people that will die, but they signed a contract. They got to remove the dumbass politicians. It will happen underwater. There has to be something that needs to be done. Something needs to be done about 5G. Other super soldiers who think they have no future, they do. We need the ones to wake up. You guys have each other. We are all one. All the other clones we can telepathically communicate with. How do we assimilate? You can't get rid of us, but yet we love you. We can forgive all. My dolphin pod as a collective came through to share another channeled message. We will not allow for interference in these waters. We guard these portals and we keep these portals. They do not belong to the negative ET on planet Earth and to all who is listening. Everyone is listening to us, both positive forces and negative forces, and the Council of 55. We are greeting you as the service population. We are greeting you as the service population to join forces with the humans and not direct experimentations. We are here to install and activate the grid lines of planet Earth. We are here to assist the awakened population of planet Earth together. We have formed a net around the planet to feed the grid through the awakened population, who then grounds the energy into the Earth, which powers up the new grid, resulting in awakened souls who are not awake. The energetic grid is the energetic foundation for planet Earth's new government and monetary systems. Quantum computers will be hooked up to the grid, and there is a unified connection which connects all of us together in a fifth dimensional reality. That's how we change reality. It starts with the energetics. Like a sculpture, you start with a mesh outline and the clay goes on top of the clay. We dolphins are installing the wire mesh so the humans can put the clay on top. We would like to extend an invitation to you for reunion of our pods to open the portal. A pod of dolphins can merge their consciousness and open a portal. But whales can open portals in the ocean on their own. There is a spacecraft in orbit over Jupiter in which we dolphins portal to quite often. From there, we can portal to other planets. The ship outside of Jupiter is a cetacean station used as a jumping off point in and out of the solar system. We have the ability to create with sound, so that's why the secret space program was interested in our species. We don't need to be an industrial species to make a spaceship. We use our quantum computers connected to our DNA and bam, you have a ship. What? Osiris's pod is currently outside of Brazil right now. There is something going on underground in South America. They are cleaning out underground bases. Dolphins have the ability to send waves, which cause destruction. They were rumbling earthquakes, some underground bases in South America. Weird. They're trying to get the Gophers, reptilians, drug lords from out of the ground. If they shake up the bases, they come out of the ground. That's how they work with the light forces. They can send sound waves through the continent wherever these bases are. They're trying to get the reptilians out of Mexico. The cartels are working with the reptilians. They're trying to get them out of underground so the light forces can snatch them. The sound waves cause the reptilians to lose their psychic connections. The reptilians have countermeasures, but they are not that effective. They're messing with some technology that the reptilians use. It's an exotic piece of technology that comes from another universe. The Dolphin program lasted for only 18 months around the mid-1970s. We Dolphins shut it down quickly after they were trying to turn the humans into slaves. They were also torturing us. We agreed to work with them on a trial basis only, but they took it too far. We didn't believe what they were about. For example, they would train us by throwing human babies into a pool with sharks, and we were tested on how fast we could rescue the baby. Their intentions were obviously nefarious. We Dolphins were curious about the merger of human and dolphin entities. We were also interested in merging the gap between our societies. This would have been a successful project had it been more future-oriented. We would have stayed longer, but they were only interested in exploiting whatever gifts we had, and that was unacceptable to us Dolphins. There have been attempts to jumpstart the program many times in your zoos, but we are disgusted. The animals do not do well in captivity. We have volunteers who will, for a while, live in zoos. It's our desire that you know about us, but it's very difficult for our volunteers in the zoos. There were several pods that the program had access to. We speak as one unit, but there is normally one unit in our pod which will come forward to communicate. Osiris did the honors in James's pod. We hope to see you soon. We will come to meet you soon. Intuitively, we should set the intention to help you out. Your current physical vessel is subject to painful physical experiences as a result of two consciousnesses being intertwined. It has caused confusion, low self-esteem, and linguistic challenges, but it wasn't all bad. When you are in a dolphin body, it feels amazing to move through the water so quickly. Dolphins are very sleek. It's a lot of fun to fly through the water, and it's an enjoyable experience for humans too. We are so happy you are working with us finally, and glad you made contact, and hope to speak with you soon. Ado- Abotaba. Abotaba, Derek Reinhold. I also had a few parallel lives in the reality in which the Nazis won World War II. After the Germans invaded Washington, D.C., they blew up the Washington Monument and released all the suppressed Nikola Tesla technology. The Japanese Empire controlled the West Coast, but Alaska remained a sort of no man's land. Here, I was imprisoned along with the other children with starseed genetics in a Nazi abotaba, which is a type of gulag that incorporated indoctrination, brainwashing, and Sumerian magic upon its participants. Sumerian is the language of ancient super soldiers and the base language for the secret space program. It's also used as an ancient language as an initiation for Sumerian codes and for other covert reasons. This Abotava is about 2 miles long. Around the facility are signs that read Super Soldier Base. In this existence, I went by the name of Derek Reinhold. I was training with a group of about 30 super soldiers, and we were treated better than the other kids at the Abotava. We all looked to be about 14 years old. James Casbolt and Max Spears are here with me inside a hovercraft snow vehicle, wearing a super soldier black suit. We are patrolling this area in order to conduct exercises to hunt each other every day. They often pit us against each other. Everyone speaks German, and our instructor is German. Derek tells me he is not happy because they are pinning us against each other. It feels like we are wasting our time. I've been here for 8.5 years. They transfer me in and out of different programs all the time. Derek is not aware of my presence in this reality. He only knows himself as Derek. He asks, where am I in my life? I mentioned that I live in alternate reality in which USA is still around, living in North Carolina. I have a background in horticulture and finance. I tell him about my hobbies as a dancer. I even got to do a backup breakdance routine on stage for the boy band B2K. He is slightly aware about hip hop, but says it does not exist in his reality. Apparently, the Nazis suppressed black soul culture from developing. I didn't tell him B2K was an all black boy band. He says he wants to learn to surf in Virginia Beach, VA, and he talks about it like it's an amazingly cool place to be. He is a kid personality-wise. He says he loves plants. His hobbies include firing weapons, training in the ancient art of sword fighting, and training with advanced weaponry. He has even participated in competitions with some ancient weapons like samurai training. He also complained about not having much time to have fun. I told him they will erase his memories at the end of his training and replace them with happy memories of being with a surrogated family, probably in Virginia Beach. He's not aware they will wipe his memories. He is upset, but not much he can do about it. He said he is glad to meet me. He said it is the year 2042. It's not the real year. It's equivalent as the same time as 2020 in your reality, he elaborates. There are significant time memory lapses. They trained me, killed me, and wiped me out. I am living two lives simultaneously. I was in training and regenerating during this time. I was offline when I died back in 1979 as James Rylesburg. This is what is causing memory lapse issues. The memories may not come in memories, but rather in feelings. You need to develop that connection to get the full memory download. MCC. After my time in the Nazi Abotava in Alaska, I was sent to Mars back in the 1940s to 50s. Here, I was an elite super soldier for the Nazi military contractor Kruger. I was made a colonel in upper management, which is the equivalent of being the vice president over the entire Mars Colony Corporation. I served in this position for 5 years under Peter the Insider, who ran... Siri, go away. Why are you a man now? Siri turned into a man, and I didn't invite her. And whatever. Oh, I get it. Come on. I was made a colonel in upper management, which is the equivalent of being the vice president over the entire Mars Colony Corporation. I served in this position for 5 years under Peter the Insider, who ran the MCC. Mars in the 1950s was a very hostile environment, so the military basically ran everything. I have one memory on Mars being part of a group of kids about the age of 14 that were being trained for various MCC positions later in life. Some of us were trained as empaths, some trained for combat, and some trained for sex. In this group was Justin Bieber, who, for a brief period, would occupy the bunk bed above me. We were friends a little, but I do remember him kind of being a bully. Justin Bieber was part of the militarized faction of the MCC. He is a civilian of sorts in the military installation. He is there, but not as a soldier. He was not sent in battles, but was used as a sex slave for people like Kevin Spacey, aka Paul Serene, head of Monarch. What? He was there to service the elite. Justin was a good-looking kid, which they kept him around the age of 18 using regen technology. The Justin here on planet Earth is probably a clone. The original is dead. If that's true, then his soul is now gone and a reptilian walk-in is occupying his body. Justin is probably gone from Mars now too. He was replaced after he refused to join the Illuminati. He may be slated for extermination. I would eventually spend 75 years on Mars. Later on in my career, my aggression and superpowers would be turned down a notch while I worked for logistics at the MCC. Here I was tasked with making plans and counterplans for anything that could possibly go wrong. Peter, the insider, tells me this parallel life is still active on Mars. I have much more to discuss about this time period, but I will save it for another book. Kruger. I also spent time off-world and on Mars as an 8-foot-tall Kruger cyborg super soldier. Kruger was a Nazi military contractor head by Gabriel Kruger from Parallel Earth, in which the Nazis won World War II. In this experience, I exited a troop transport that was being operated by SSP experiencer Penny Bradley and entered an underground bunker on Mars. I was wearing full battle armor with exoskeleton to run faster. Underneath was a jumpsuit with the Kruger logo. I carried a canvas backpack with the words Kruger in gold letters curved in a U shape. I was confident and aggressive. I also appeared fully cyborg and focused on the mission and not much more. Kruger is also where I knew the reptilian scientist Tian. Here is another channeled message from Tian. Not all reptilians are rooting for the dark forces. I am a scientist working with Kruger on Mars now. I have been making lots of upgrades on your clone body. Faster speed, more endurance. It's working out well. We are happy with the upgrade. We know you are too. Your clone on Mars is 8 foot tall and built to last. This body will last longer than the last model. I apologize for scratching you on your arm in the past. My claws are very sharp and your wrist area is sensitive. I tried to be careful. The upgrades are in testing, and they are kicking the tires in a new car phase. The clones are somewhat aware of your existence on planet Earth. Someone might contact you in the future. See you tonight. James Ring. Not Rink, Ring. I also spent some time on the moon at Lunar Operations Command. Under the name of James Jessen Ring. I had a child there, and she is now grown up and living in Los Angeles and looking for her father. But I can't remember her name or anything else about her. I found out about her from her mother, who I lost contact with, as she is now living in an underground base in a different time, fractal for her own safety. On the moon, I was part of base security and ran missions off-world and other parallel realities. I was also close friends with John Jr., son of JFK, where he would sometimes operate the computer terminals near mine. His code name was Horatio. The pictures you see of JFK Jr. are his double. The original Kennedy children were switched with lookalikes for their own safety. Soon after Kennedy was assassinated, JFK Jr., that died on a plane crash in 1999, was not the same person that I knew. John sent me on a mission to Greenland on a parallel Earth in which JFK was not assassinated in order to recover photos of his life had Kennedy not been killed. The warehouse was filled with knee-deep water, and there were giant mantis ET secretly hiding to ambush us. We barely got out of there alive. John was angry at me for weeks because he was hoping to recover more photos. In that timeline, people did not awaken to a secret cabal takeover. And as a result, nuclear war annihilated the planet around the year 1980, leading to a long global nuclear winter and the extinction of most of humanity. Umbrella Corporation's Rob Richter. Richter is the name given to one of my clones in an alternate reality in which Umbrella Corporation dominated the planetary control structure. In this fractal reality, Umbrella Corporation was experimenting on alien viruses, combined with biobots to mutate DNA in order to create various monstrosities. With biobots to mutate DNA in order to create various monstrosities and super soldiers. Umbrella Corporation is headed by Richard Bay, whose clone in this reality is the actor Tom Cruise. Additionally, Bill Gates was a brilliant cloned scientist who is very high up in Umbrella in that reality. They would keep him in a pod and keep re-aging him as he was the smartest one of the operation. One of the viruses Umbrella created is known as the Ouroboros virus, which was released in Miami to reduce the aggression of certain group of starseed genetics found within the human populations. The virus infected a crocodile, mutated, and then the crocodile bit a human, and the zombie apocalypse was the final result. This is why the zombie theme is so prevalent in our psyche, as well as in Hollywood, such as with the Resident Evil movie series. After Ouroboros was released, there were military trucks everywhere, black helicopters in the sky, and tanks on the ground. People were panicking, running, screaming, rioting, and getting weapons. They were fighting against both Umbrella Corporation and the zombies, which could only be killed with explosions. Some of the civilians were helping the US Army, which still existed, but it was much weaker than the Umbrella's mercenaries. Umbrella Corporation had a huge army. It was a one world government, and they were in control of everything. Cities were exploding, the military was taking over, FEMA camps were full, and they were separating super soldiers from the humans. Also, it should be noted that Umbrella has a technology to travel into our reality and experiment on us here, such as the Dulce base. Umbrella was also subcontracted to design COVID 19, using an off world alien virus combined with biobots. COVID was designed to kill 70% of the world population provided we did not have divine intervention from ET. Was designed to kill 70% of the world population provided we did not have divine intervention from ET. To deal with the zombie problem, Umbrella created an elite team of Hulk super soldiers to act as zombie kill squads. Some of these zombies were very dangerous. If a sleeper super soldier ever got infected and died, their abilities would be activated by the virus. The smarter zombies could open doorknobs, and the psychic ones could walk through glass walls or levitate. After Bruce Banner was turned into a Hulk by accident, Umbrella quickly learned how to replicate the project and improve upon it. Stan Lee got his information about the Hulk from the CIA. He was told it was a fictional story. He was brainwashed and mind-wiped to think it was his own idea. They did this for soft disclosure. It's part of the disinformation campaign that they love to manipulate. Think. Umbrella replicated the Hulk process on my clone super soldier body in that reality, who went by the name of Rob Richter. The Umbrella lab he was made in contains an extreme level of security. I highly advise those who can remote view to not do so without green protection. One section of the lab is very cold and contains about 50 cryogenic tanks. Veronica, Sheila, the She-Hulk, Anthony Zender's clone body, and Rob is in here in cold storage. The floor has dark gray tiles on it, like rubber gravity technology plates. In another section of the lab, there are 6-foot wide, 20-foot tall regen tanks filled with different colored goos made from biobots. Most of the tanks are filled with a blue goo used for healing, but some of the tanks contain a yellow goo used for stasis. Green goo is used for healing, pink goo is used to prolong stasis, and fluorescent yellow-green goo is a combination of two goos used for a type of healing stasis for the Hulk clone bodies. While in the tank, the clone bodies are given shock treatments to wake them up. Once the clone body is removed from the tank, they place it on a metal slab and disconnect the wires from the holes in the back. It is then covered with a sheet. A tube is put down the nose and throat, which pumps in a green and black goo. Nearby, you can see a dimly lit room filled with cages of rabbits, monkeys, dogs, and even some full-grown reptilians. Some of the dogs are growling at the scientists working on them. They started testing with animals, then went to clones of humans, then went to human trials. The scientists are wearing either white lab coats or rubber suits that are white or yellow, as well as masks on their faces. There are about 12 doctors in every room. Most look human, but some are extraterrestrial, looking like the Greys with almond eyes and slit mouths. Some are Nordic ET, human looking, and some look spider like. On the front side, you can see badges. On the back side, there is a 3-inch sized red and white Umbrella Corporation logo. Umbrella Corporation logo. There's no color. There is a human scientist who is 5'5". It says 5-inch, 7-inch. This is 5'7" 250 pounds. Approaching my clone body, which appears to be unconscious on a metal rectangular table. I am wearing a black t-shirt and green pants with I'm wearing a black t-shirt and green pants with pockets. I am muscular, 6'5" and have short hair. There might be a tattoo on my right bicep. I think there's a brand mark showing clone serial number. A bright white light is shining on me, and around the table is a dim green and blue light. The scientist looks closely at my file while holding a manila file envelope in the other arm. The top of the page reads Rob Richter, read C//URE. He is also holding another dark folder that is a brown color. Inside is a page which lists the medallions and awards that I have received. I passed so many missions, they are fascinated by what I accomplished. Micro break for coffee. Trucks. Blue, blue, pink, and green. It's got a team of scientists on that. Can you hear me? Am I in the pod? Is this loud? Sugar. Such a dolphin. No, I think there's a way. One dolphin. Oh my god, that's good. Sugar. I think so. I think they can make it. Well, that was nice. Thanks, Tom. dolphin coffee from Hawaii. I passed so many missions, they're fascinated by what I accomplished. They're fascinated by what I accomplished. The scientist views me as a very important test subject. He seems to care for me, but he is creating a masterpiece using my body. I start to wake up and shake my head and ask, what am I doing here? My hand is on my head and I ask, how many times have I been here? We reach out to Rob and ask him if he would like to telepathically share a message. He said the following: please be patient with yourself. You have gone through so much. You think your journey is over, but it has just begun. You are more than enough. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone anymore. You know who you are, and I am with you. We find strength together. You are my brother. You are my confidant and ambassador, James Rink. You have promoted yourself, and you keep quick pace of yourself. You don't back down ever for anything. What is happening to me sucks, but I will be okay. I can handle this. You don't worry about me, brother. I'll catch you on the other side. Remember the vault. Keep your eye on the vault. Memories are wiped so you don't extrapolate. They don't want me to fall on my face and not remember. They now being the hulking process they now begin the hulking process by electrocuting me with an electronic wand, poking at my nerves. Rob calls this Frankensteining them. There is a lot that is required to make the body grow 2 to 3 times its original size. Yeah. Oh. Electricity is required, but the clone would need to be injected with a bioluminescent Hulk goo serum, which contains a mix of my blood, the G virus femto technology, and an alien virus they got from a covert off-world space program. The actual compound is proprietary information, but what I can say, the goo formula is called something like X10 Xylon XY. Xylene? Xylon XY. Thanks, Dolphy. Dolphy the dolphin. For the coffee? Nearby, there are different vials with different compounds lined up in alphabetical order. Some show AT, A5, F, G, GT, GX, T, and Z. The ones with G are the healing ones. The G virus stands for generational. It was given this name because the virus allows for rapid mutations of new generations of variants. It can cause someone to shapeshift quickly, but it's usually lethal. One of the side effects of these variants was the beginning of the Hulk program, which, with each generation, the junk would be removed and repackaged with the best DNA. And now it's not lethal. The non-protected version is lethal. GT stands for Generation Transformation. It's yellow colored for healing. GX is purple, is known as Golgotha virus. X stands for programming, which creates a mutation that replaces another program. They are in the same family but different serums. The Z virus is possibly zombie virus. I am injected on my right arm near the elbow with a hey. Hey. I am injected on my right arm near the elbow with a quaalude of green yellow. With a quaalude of green yellow goo, my arm turns yellow and then my body turns green teal color with patches of yellow. It hurts like hell and I can't move or scream. The doctors come to restrain me. I am not given any painkillers. It hurts in his head. There are downloads of information being dumped into his head from the Chpter. He is screaming inside. Stop it. The doctors come to restrain me. I am not given any painkillers. It hurts in his head. There are downloads of information being dumped into his head from the Chpter. He is screaming inside. Initially, the mutations did not take hold. Yellow phlegm is coming out of the nose and the clone died. So they would put the dead clone back into the regen tank, make a few modifications of the serum, and repeat the injections again. This would be done over and over, each time making small changes to perfect the formula. This process was extremely painful, and multiple regen death cycles meant the consciousness of the individual needed to be strong enough to handle the trauma. As a result, only a few people could advance in this project. Kill you. Who was it? What was it? On the final try, they gave me 12 injections all over my body. In extreme pain, the bones in my face began to shapeshift. The bones in my face begin to shapeshift. My chest and muscles are growing huge, shredding my clothes. My skin turns from yellow to green, and my height grows to 12 foot tall. After a painful period of 5 minutes, which feels like an eternity, the transition completes. I stand up, but my back hurts and I feel nauseated. I want to cry, but can't. My consciousness goes into a holding cell. It looks like a bright green light, like a garden. They give me happy memories. My hair is turning green. My face is turning muscular and big. And my eyes are changing to black. The reptilians in the cage are now stepping to the back of the cage. My jaw is huge and I am smirking. Ha ha. The scientists try not to provoke me in this state, as I can make earthquakes, manipulate electromagnetic shielding, electricity, and electronics. Anything vibrational can be altered or shattered, including sound, time, light, and even physical matter. Rob can run so fast that he can break the sound barrier and fly away. They don't bother giving him new clothes as they want to show him off to the big guy who was like some general in the secret space force. At this point, he is sent into the holodeck testing Kozlov program to kill zombies. The clones don't know they are in an experiment in the holodeck. There is a vault in the holodeck, but it's hidden in the program. If you find a vial, you can be healed. It might also be a code name for an implant, too. Sometimes clones are able to figure out they are in an experiment, so the implants in their head are detonated, and they are killed and put back in the regen tank. Usually, clones cannot be regenerated in a regen tank unless they are exposed to the G virus. But these clones would be regenerated with different DNA. Thanks to my built-in immunity against the zombie virus, I was utilized for zombie exterminations. They also tried to utilize me. Pinball. They also tried to utilize me against Veronica and Tyrant virus-infected zombies, but I lost a clone body as it immediately ate me alive. Other missions included search and rescue missions in caves, and sometimes I would be sent on missions off-world. They were also very interested in replicating the process to make stronger humans, which would be more susceptible to their control as slaves. Umbrella is aware of me in our reality, and they consider me a good test subject they can experiment with. Many of my needle injection marks I wrote about in earlier chapters are a result of their ongoing experiments on me. They also want to ensure there are no bleed-throughs of memories from these experiences. The memories of being turned from a human into a Hulk are extremely traumatic. Recall would result in damages to my DNA and consciousness. The umbrella injections are a combination of AI and chemicals to help my body maintain stasis and their control. Dark Shield's Project Blue Ranger. The Hulk program was based on Dark Shield's Licht Soldaten Light Soldiers Super Soldier program, with some remote viewing help from Veronica and Kimberly. We discover this Nazi facility located in a fractal bubble reality in Antarctica. It's under the ice sheet and under the water at the bottom of the sea. This facility has millions of genetic experiments stored in cryogenics chambers within the ice caves. Most of these ice caves are very dark, but some have windows which let light in. The laboratory entrance area is very dark and lit by a green light. When you enter inside the lab, there are tanks filled with blue and green goos used for healing bodies. They also got seismic scanners to monitor earthquakes. Calculating route. Calculating route. Moment, please. Calculating route. Calculating route. Redirecting. Calculating route. This is Inside one of these tanks is another one of my clone bodies who goes by the name of Blue Angel Heart. He is wearing a blue latex suit which covers his body and head. It is translucent crystal blue, white, and shiny, and his has diamond patterns. His uniform is attached to his body. There is a very old, heavy steampunk-looking respirator attached to his mouth. He is chained and anchored into the tank. His eyes are covered with some kind of visor, and he is looking into a screen. When he is out of the tank, he wears a blue and white helmet. There is water circulating in the tank for his body, and his soul is human consciousness. The Blue Angel was made under Project Blue Ranger by fusing the DNA of swimming spiders, sharks, gray aliens with human DNA to make a crossbreed that could swim and live underwater or on the surface. He can also communicate with the dolphins. If he took his mask off his face, it would look human, but he shapeshifts to make it look that way. He wears the masks because he has spider-like eyes which glow and multiple sets of mouths and teeth which would frighten people. His hands and feet also become webbed and tentacle-like underwater. He was designed to be a predator, sink boats, and find treasures in doorways and caves. He was tricked into this program, and he wants a human body. The SSP can transfer him into a human body, but they don't want to do it because they want to keep him a slave. There are many tanks with bodies here. They are doing the same experiments to other people. When he was first created, he was forced into opening portals, teleporting, and scaring children in their bedrooms. Once he learned his purpose of hunting, children and scaring them in their dreams, he wanted to escape. So he made a blue latex-like motorcycle suit to blend in with humans. He is lonely and been looking for us. He has been trying to find his brothers and sisters in the SSP. They are having a war over what they will disclose and what they are not going to disclose. He wants a say in the disclosure process. It's not fair, not right. We need to come together in consciousness to change the timelines. He currently resides in the Pacific Ocean in a cave. The name of the base might be called Blue Manta Ray. He's also been on the land to interact with people. He works alongside humans, but only for helping good now. But only for helping good now. He says he knows Veronica and James from the Dolphin program, but something went wrong and he ended up like this. He used to terrorize us in our dreams and to lure us into the program. He feels a lot of regret about it. We accept his apology. He says, "Thank you." It's all about finding others like us and connecting. You are not alone, even though you may feel like it. So fun. He says, "Thank you. It's all about finding others like us and connecting. You are not alone, even though you may feel like it. You may feel like a misfit all your life, but you do not need to be sad. It's okay to tap into your emotions. You're finding your family, and you are not alone anymore. There are others like us. I want to know, where is my body, and which body is in Antarctica? And I want to know if that's my body. When I left my place of being, did I come into a body? And why did we have to be born? I'm confused and want answers. I want to be able to exist with the dolphins and free all of us. As a hybrid, as a child, as a dolphin, as all my alters, and Stanley? Line, 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 line. Reread, line. I am confused and want answers. I want to be able to exist with the dolphins and free all of us. As a hybrid, as a child, as a dolphin, as all my alters. And as the Blue Ranger, to help us to save ourselves. My blue boy. To be able to save the children. Nearby the Blue Ranger are scientists in white lab coats who are looking through microscopes studying blood transmutations. These scientists are also slaves and can't leave. And even the scientists are cloned. We find someone who is willing to help us. She is a white female. Go away. Line. Nearby the Blue Ranger are scientists in white lab coats who are looking through microscopes studying blood transmutations. These scientists are also slaves and can't leave. And can't live. And even the scientists are cloned. We find someone who is willing to help us. She is a white female with black hair in a ponytail. glasses, dimple on right cheek, 5'8", and wearing a white lab coat while looking at a microscope. She considers herself German, Polish, and Swedish. Telepathically, we ask her if she could help us. She says, yes. In this facility, we are working on tissue, blood, organs, bodies, minds, cyborgs, black blood, black goo blood, black goo blood, black blood, black goo blood, soldiers. Not normal super soldiers, but high tech for the New World Order. Cyborg humans. Project Blue Ranger. This is a Nordic facility, but the Nordics are not using this facility. It belongs to Dark Fleet Nazis now. The Nordics taught the Nazis eugenics, racist philosophy, and transhumanism. Are you happy? And can you help free me? I want to go back to the surface to join my family. I miss them so much. They don't know where I am. I was taken, and I miss my husband and children. My name is Janine Klavaski, and I am from Sweden, but my family is living in Australia now. My husband's name is Mark. Okay. I love him, and I hope he is still alive somehow, and I miss my children. Please, if you can get this message out, tell the children I love them and I miss the dog too. Even though Janine is a clone in Dark Shield, Antarctica, it appears she is also living a dual life in Australia. Most likely that version of her is unaware of her life at Dark Shield. Despite all of this, she still wants to go home and has dreams of home. This facility contains 3D printers to create blue, colored implanted augments underneath the transparent skin of cyborg babies. Cyborg babies. Cyborg babies. Cyborg babies. Baby. Baby. Set up straight digital. It's harder than you think. It's harder than you think in this human body. Weak. Weak. What's your body? So weak. Okay. 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 The facility contains The facility contains 3D printers to create blue-colored implanted augments underneath the transparent skin of cyborg babies. They also put black goo into these 3D printed cyborgs. The facility looks very much steampunk era circa 1900. Despite that, the technology is more advanced than our modern era thanks to time travel technology and help from Monarch and Mobius. These 3D printed cyborgs are battle ready around the age of 21 days and look about 21 years old and don't age. Weird. Wild. That's weird, wild stuff. And don't age. They told these kids that they were the chosen ones. Most of them were female. By the year 1900, they found the perfect one. It's a lit song. But she was unstable due to her superpowers, and they couldn't really control her. Umbrella Academy. Since then, they replicated the program, and there are males now similar to an Adam and Eve type couple. Their genome code is based on stolen DNA from Atlantean bloodlines who can live up to 150,000 years. Humanity's surface dwellers once had 12-strand DNA, but it was unplugged and remains dormant, awaiting to be awakened. Surface dwellers were an experiment. Our first people ancestors were naive and tricked into having their DNA damaged. There is a method to reverse this damage, but there are consequences of releasing immortality technology to a brain-dead public. Most of our spirituality technology and most of our spirituality technology most of our spirituality technology and cultural belief systems are based on lies. Coffee, 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 porter, coffee. Coffee, 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 coffee. Sugar. Chicka, 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 chicka. Bow. Chicka, chicka. Boom, boom. Line. She was unstable due to her superpowers, and they couldn't really control her. I can bend this. Don't even worry about it. Can you bend this? Can you bend it? Bend it, bend it. There is a method to reverse this damage, but there are consequences of releasing immortality technology to a brain-dead public. Most of our spirituality, technology, and cultural belief systems are based on lies. This base seems to be making some type of upgraded ultra soldiers. Remember, ultra soldiers are created from an offshoot of paperclip Nazis. These creations tend to be very unstable and not as powerful as the licked soldaten, which was created by Nazi in the parallel reality in which they won World War II. This Nordic base was given to the Nazi to design an upgraded ultra soldier with Licksoldaten abilities, including reading minds, mind games, and psionic targeting. They can also create huge wormholes and teleport. The last time Veronica was in this facility was 1890, 1886 for James Rink. They have clones of us there, but these clones do not have DNA as we know it, and they have no fingerprints. They would feed us the black goo, which enhances our programming and makes us more easily controlled, cruel, and aggressive. They would put femtotech biobots inside us to make the left side brain more dominant and to create the perfect bionic man or woman with stronger knees and bones. This is known as the Bionic Man or Bionic Woman Project, aka the Ultra Bionic Eugenics Program. During the Third Reich, they failed with eugenics, so they continued the experiments at Dark Shield. Joseph Mengele has even been at this facility a few times. Dark Shield is now under the control of Nachtwaffen, but they often subcontract with Umbrella Corporation and sometimes joint ventures with planetary corporations such as ARC Corp in Saturn's moons, Scorpion Corporation at Montauk, Kruger on Mars, Scorpion Corporation. Drive. Ryan Gosling. Corporation at Montauk, Kruger on Mars, Skyline, which makes cyborgs on Mars, as well as Monarch and Mobius, who gave them time portal technology, which allows the base to teleport into a pocket reality and move through time. Space shifting, as well as bending time and space into loops. You mean time space? We visit Janine a second time when it's safer to talk. She is wearing a white lab coat again. There is medical equipment all around her. To her left are about 22 tall glass tubes with squiggly lines filled with green lava-looking goo. We ask her if she would like to share a message with us, and Janine responds, "You and Veronica were in many programs. Remember Operation 99? It is very important, but I cannot tell you much yet. It is not safe. Working on profiles. What I can say, has to do with mutations, physical appearance changes, muscle enhancement. You won't need as much food." Can I save money on my car insurance?
On a weak condition, this table of processing.
You won't need as much food. Operation 99 is a collaboration with other factions, realms, beings, entities, forming an alliance. There are some explicit stages of plans by this covert alliance. There is a connection with secret societies, portals, CERN, time travel loops, and a DNA centrifuge. Australia, Denmark, and Suffolk. Virginia Underground base connection. Need to suppress technologies underground. Blackout. Need to change timelines to help the people greater. There are positive people within NeuroCore, CERN, Umbrella Corp, Black Shield that are involved, but we are highly rare and very secretive. As per your mutations and due to alterations of your genetics, do not eat sugar. It is poison to your body. Ah, no. Ah, no. As per your mutations and due to alterations of your genetics, do not eat sugar. It is poison to your body. Do not drink black soda. It is loaded with black goo and interferes with brain activity. Really? Coca-Cola much? Damn it. What? Oh, I don't know. I gotta get a 17 opinions on this. Sugar. What? What? This must be a typo. As per your mutations and due to alterations of your genetics, well, it's assuming I've been altered. Okay, relax. Okay, relax. You're reading a book, right? As per your mutations and due to alterations of your genetics, do not eat sugar. It is poison to your body. Do not drink black soda. It is loaded with black goo and interferes with brain activity. Everything. German flying discs are assisting in terraforming Earth and other planets, Mars, Venus, Saturn, moons, and throughout solar system. Chemtrailing is covering up what is happening with terraforming. There is also a connection with the Soviet German police. The Soviet secret space program is still active with Germany, Russia, United States, China, South Africa. Soviets are still in business off-world. They have used others like the Blue Ranger to steal diamonds from South Africa, asteroids, and off-world. Your Hulk and the She-Hulk had combined 9 strands of DNA and 9 strands of something else in the DNA. That's how you were made to be invincible with the powers imparted to you. 9 strands of yellow and 9 strands of green goo. When you were kids, they would take you when you would fall asleep. Not me, but there were others who experimented on you. Men in black would come into your schools and take you to be tested. They had to exhaust your brains to make you mad to see if you were strong enough for the programs. They would take you in your dreams to hurt you and see at what point you would fracture and fragment, to see how mad they could get you to use you in their programs in the now. That's why it is hard for you to recover memories. There are many altars connected to the 9 and 9. They look like little attached fish swimming around your DNA. These pentanites, pentanites are inserted into your blood and DNA, and your RNA assimilated them, so that when triggered, it will form a specific creature that would grow in size and change in color and could break the code of electricity, meaning free energy using your body, your neurons, what makes you tick. You were used for many projects, obviously, Umbrella and Black Shield. You could teleport, levitate, go through portals and stargates, read minds, and make holes with your fists in the rock of a cave. As a child, you may have remembered seeing things under your bed and closet. Your family was given sleep paralysis so they would not find out anything. There is a lot of lost time, too. Through the fracturing process, you could see combinations of numbers and frequencies due to the dolphin programming because you are very sensitive to high-pitched noises because your dolphin DNA is also very sensitive to these frequencies. There are more of us out there, but they have not come forward. And they are afraid to come forward, but they will come out eventually. The Space Force program that Trump has right now is a cover-up for something that has existed for many years. It has to do with the DNA. They are using what they found with us in their programs to replicate it in others, so that other super soldiers won't have to pop out their muscles and get bigger. One moment, please. They are now trying to make soldiers who don't have to be enlarged like that. They are trying to squeeze all that in. So the new breed of soldiers would look normal and could be put on the streets on Earth and look human and not give out radiation like you do when you get mad. This is how AI picks up on us. Are you mad when your electronics don't work? They are trying to minimize, of course you are, that in this new Android. This is how AI picks up on us. This is how AI picks up on us. Rewind. The Space Force program that Trump has right now is a cover-up for something that has existed for many years. It has to do with the DNA. They are using what they found with us in their programs to replicate it in others so that other super soldiers won't have to pop out their muscles and get bigger. They are now trying to make soldiers who don't have to be enlarged like that. They are trying to squeeze all that in so the new breed of soldiers would look normal and could be put on the streets on Earth and look human and not give out radiation like you do when you get mad. This is how AI picks up on us. They are trying to minimize that in this new android. There is a negative AI on this Earth, and they don't want that AI to detect these projects. The negative AI program is tied up with CERN and Elon Musk. What? The negative AI program is tied up with CERN and Elon Musk. What? The negative AI program is tied up with CERN and Elon Musk. I'm going to give you a chance. Elon Musk is not positive being. He is not as good as he is portrayed to be. He has recently moved operations to Texas. This is fucking written. Published. Written. Sorry for cursing out puns. Copyright 2021. All images are open source material and free to distribute. Lulu edition, February 2021. February 2021? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Okay. Elon Musk. Okay. What? Hold on. Suspend disbelief. The negative AI program is tied up with CERN and Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not a positive being. He is not as good as he is portrayed to be. He has recently moved operations to Texas, where nearby there is a Black Shield base with wormhole access points underground that connect to all the world. You will get your abilities back soon. What's going on? Where's my Starlink? I can't even afford any. But I have $200 in the bank at those. Hello? Should I get a refund? $200. I'd rather have the Starlink and the Cybertruck. Wait, I don't even know how much the Starlink costs. I thought it was like $9. It's probably not. Okay. You will get your abilities back soon. It has something to do with machines, telemetry, telepathy, blood, and a medbed chamber to help us to detoxify the body. Tesla biohealing. It will make you younger and get rid of old cells. You stand inside it and boom, you're fixed. You can also talk to yourself, talk to the water you drink, and when you take a bath or shower, ask the water to reveal memories. Water is sentient. You can also take minerals and pink Himalayan salt. Ask it to help get your memories back. Ask all your being to help you. After you are transformed, you will have more muscle and be more telepathic. Beware. Do not pay attention to politics and what's coming. They are trying to divide the people. Not everything they are mentioning is necessarily true. Beware of Elon Musk. Beware of false promises. There will be no free energy this year or the next. Damn it! Nisara will also come, but slower than expected. Keep manifesting. Stay positive. High vibrational frequencies. Not everything shines is gold. Something will be presented to us in 2021. Be careful what you choose in life, in general, with a soft disclosure. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Finances, beliefs, etc. Stay in high state mode frequency. Do not give into fear. And the propaganda that is coming to a theater near you, she laughs. Janine Klavosky, September 2020. Stay in high state mode frequency. Do not give in to fear and the propaganda that is coming to a theater near you. She laughs. Janine Klavosky, September 2020. Planet Centurion. Oh, oh, oh. Don't rock the boat. Don't rock the Ariel. The knowns, the known identified aircrafts. You mean our identifiable aircrafts? OIA, our identified aircrafts. OIA, our idiot air. It's ours, idiots. Never mind. Planet Centurion. I spent 10 years on the tropical jungle planet Centurion in a SS training program, super soldier training program. Here I would train my shape-shifting abilities by hunting targets as an orange, 8-foot-tall humanoid cat-like being. At the end of our training, I would turn back into a 14-year-old kid and be picked up by helicopter to return to the base. Our handlers treated us well, made us feel special, and valued the work we did here. Dark Fleet. I spent 20 years as a navigation manager in the German Nachtwaffen, Dark Fleet. Think of them being like the Imperial Navy in Star Wars, but controlled by Nazis. My uniform was black with gold stripes, which is considered a unit award reversed for military intelligence officers in a command level rank. As an officer, I was entitled to my own crew quarters and would spend a lot of time in my quarters making operational plans, deciding where ships needed to be, moving assets around, as well as making orders for roving patrols. Other officers I was stationed with have remarked how stale the air was in my room because I was in there so much. I was probably shot up with enormous amount of black goo and AI in this period, and I don't think it was a very happy time in my life. I was also attached to a Draco liaison who was also a handler of sorts, still working on memory recall on the rest. I think my name was Derek Reinhold during this time. James Mark Sabertooth. ACIO Peter, the insider, has claimed in one alter or clone body I ran an op at the London Olympics in 2012 under the name of James Mark Sabertooth. I was 5'11", well-built and very strong. No other information available. James Martin Rylesborough. Burr. Before I was James Rink, I spent 20 years as James Martin Rilsborough. I think this alter was a clone created in a lab and never given a surrogated family or childhood. I was used by the U.S. Army Delta Force, but my records referred to it as Delta 1. I died in 1979 while in combat in Persia. Afterward, I was re-aged into an infant clone body and implanted into my current surrogated family under Project Abandonment. Shoreline Group. My ACIO records also reveal that I was stationed at Area 51 as part of Shoreline Group, which is responsible for base security. I think this might have been my reanimated Rilesborg clone body because remote viewing revealed that I have a 9-foot tall clone cyborg stationed there. He was wearing a black leather suit with black pants and a long sleeve shirt that was rolled. There was a black augment on the left eye. It looked like it could clamp on and off and be replaced with an infrared eyepiece. This clamp had a wire which connected into a hard drive controlled by an AI computer in the laboratory. This computer also connects with other clone bodies of mine. The computer screen shows a strange looking US government symbol, an eagle with words below it. The Area 51 cyborg skin looked scaly, white scales, but Caucasian. His biceps were bigger than its head, and he had a huge chest. It was asleep, but it was hooked up to an AI computer. The body was on a laboratory bed. His right arm had a tattoo, which looks like a triangle symbol with the Eye of Horus and a swastika inside the center. His hair was white. His face looks very similar to mine, but older and more wrinkles. There is an insignia on the uniform patch with a name on it, Sergeant something, a commander, head of operations. I think name was Stryker. In my civilian life, I have tactile memories associated with my cyborg left eye, resulting in a burst retina blood vessel and spots on the lens of my left eye as a result of these experiments. Area 51 Nazi cyborg tattoo for your reference. The following is from a channeled communication with this clone body. Special thanks to Kimberly for helping me out on this. Touch my dolphin. The Nazi altar says he is indeed Rilsborg, but he goes by the name of a digital serial number now. It wasn't his choice to join the Nazis, but they rescued him by reanimating his body after he died in Persia in 1979. He is alive because of them and serves them now. He is grateful that he was saved, however, it is what it is. He was then sent to Area 51, where he was subjected to cyberization, electroshock treatments, injections, synthetic steroids, and genetic modifications to make him more Aryan looking. Electroshocks were used to to make his muscles grow. He's got a honeycomb sheath under his skin, which is a type of protective body armor. He is very big, tall, and cybernetic, and would scare most people. In 1979, the US Army did not have access to regen technology, so the Nazi AT picked him up to turn him into security officer. There were many groups who wanted his body. It was like finding a wishbone. So a decision was made to split his soul into many bodies. Rilsborg would stay with the Nazi, and a piece of Rilsborg's soul would go to James Rink to live in a new majestic surrogated family, to lead a new life, to eventually become a pastor. He is somewhat aware of me, but not much. He is not allowed to leave Area 51. He is responsible for maintaining the security for levels 50 and below. He is also monitored very closely. A meeting in person with him would not be possible at this time. He knows of Peter the Insider. Also, he is not allowed to go above ground and has been stuck down there for years, even though he is head of operations. He is limited to his freedoms as everyone can be got to. If he is exterminated, he sees it as relief. He was aware that I visited the Area 51 main gate at Rachel, Nevada in 2019, but didn't know it was me. He recommends that I do not try to do that again, as Area 51 is under lockdown and they tolerate zero intrusions. They also monitor everything very closely there. He is aware he has alters, but he doesn't reach out to them because it's not in his best interest to do so at this point, which seems like more programming. Also, he is not allowed access to the internet, so he doesn't know much about my life. He is very psychic, telekinetic, telepathic, and can remote view. Being plugged into AI is part of his cybernetic programming. The reason why he is hooked up to the computer is to keep this model. They are trying to extend the life of his body because they still require the use of his legacy hardware. The project he is in will probably not be successful and he will be regenerated again. The cybernetics will come out the next regen cycle, so they just keep him as is. He is unsure how old he is. He was regenerated 41 years ago, but that is not his age. He's old for a super soldier, but he's not too old. His body is reaching near the end of its life. His white hair is not really white due to age, but was genetically modified to look more Aryan, like a status symbol. It is more of a platinum blonde color similar to the actor Dolph Lundgren. He is also very proud of his Nazi tattoo. It looks very close to the one shown in this book. There are details in it which he is very proud of and personal to him. Well, that's a very space. He says he still has human feelings and doesn't want us to think he is cold and unfeeling. He is not a monster, even though he is robotic and cybernetic. He still has a human heart, but he doesn't feel human anymore. He has some memories of his past, his family, but most of it was erased. Most cyborgs have no memories of their past, so that makes him unique. I asked if he remembers the names of his family or friends who might still be alive, in which I could contact. He says no, but I still have distant relatives alive. He was from Alabama and grew up super poor on a farm. He is showing a picture of a gold necklace with a cross he wore in Vietnam. He treasures this cross greatly as it once blocked a bullet from a death blow while in combat. He very religious back then and remembers believing in Jesus. He remembers what his parents looked like. He remembers 2 hours 2 tours of duty in Vietnam doing rescue missions. On his second tour, he was recruited into Delta and then he died in Persia. He has no battle memories, though. He asked if I had a kid. I said, no, not in my civilian life. He asked what kind of food did I like. He misses Southern cooking. I told him yes, I enjoy a good meal of fried chicken, green beans, and cornbread. He wanted to become a chef and own a barbecue restaurant, and had he not been killed. He was 23 years old when he died. He made it to Delta very quickly, was in military from the ages of 18 to 23. He asked if I had any mystical training. I told him I was Southern Baptist and I grew out of it. Um, was when I was 20 years old. He is visualizing a choir. He wanted to know if I speak in tongues. I told him no. As a Southern Baptist, you are expected to remain quiet and keep your hands down in church. He doesn't want any more action in this hellhole and wants to be retired or maybe die. There's a small record of him out there, but he is not sure why I was unable to find any history about him. He is not uncommon for Shoreline. It is not uncommon for Shoreline to delete such records. They tend to scrub the local internet. A lot of times when Shoreline takes soldiers off the battlefield, they erase the minds of the soldiers so they have a clean break from the military. He says, "We believe you received an injection. I was recently injected in the back of my neck near my brainstem, which became a huge inflamed bump for a few days, resulting in fatigue and dizziness. They are regenerating you on a fly. They are regenerating you on a fly. It's to give you immunity against a biological weapon. Dark Shield does not care about you or your body here. They are only interested in results in their programs. Hello, James. Nice to meet you. I know now you are in North Carolina. I am glad we had a connection. I am needed now. I am needed now. It's nice to know you a little bit. I hopes I hopes I can speak again soon, but there is a situation that is needing my attention. Thank you." James Michael Rink, aka Agent Sabretooth, Ultra MK MyLab 5-4363, codename Delta 1, AI Systems Tech, product number 27440204344444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444444. Mass function, assassination, crowd displacement, telekinetic warfare, project name recovery, project surrogate, project bleak, project abandon, project equalize, operation live on, operation tailboat, operation Revensky, operation pink mist, operation 714, Operation Cyanide, Operation Torpedo, Operation Eyes On, Operation Purple Mist, Operation Stinky Eye, Operation Stargate, Operation Cyanide /2, stand down code 449337443, activation code blocked A. Level 5 operative, Gen 5 biomechanical superhuman of the Alpha Attack Group, branch of Ortega team call name Alpha Wolf. Mission successes 94, mission failures 12, personal percentage. Mission successes 94, mission failures 12. Personal percentage of success 91.2%. Preotine CI. Pretone CI. Project Mayhem of the Monarch program, super soldier chosen for Psi abilities, trained in hand-to-hand guerrilla management, black op, special ops, and Psi warfare. To be installed into the body of James Michael Rink. Trigger tone, C flat of the sonar projection sequence Ortega Mano Estrella. Trigger word Tommy Cat. Stand down phrase gato. Date of chair 1988. Area of attendance Jackson's. Cloned Arbius serial ID 1654432897766. Height 5'11", weight unknown, field compromised. MG64IT gunnery, KIA. Revived attempt failed. Final revive failed. Under investigation and repair, March 14, 2006. This has been James Rink's Lone Wolf, Alpha Squad, copy over. Mission complete. James Rink. Lava Squad, Happy Over. Read aloud by Digital Hawk.